Hey guys, popping on here with a quick update. So quick, I'm not even gonna put the camera down. For context, if you didn't see my last video, a little over a month ago now, I got my appendix removed, and when they did the pathology report, they found a tumor in my appendix. If you're interested in that full story, I'll link it up here if I can figure out how to do it, otherwise in the description. It was kind of a crazy situation because it wasn't presenting as appendicitis, probably because it was being caused by a tumor, which is not a typical cause of appendicitis. Not an unheard of cause, but not super common. But anyways, the only thing you really need to know for this video is there was a tumor in my appendix. Going into a little bit more detail on what the tumor actually was, since in my last video I basically just said that there was a tumor. It was a neuroendocrine tumor. It's a grade 1 cancer, or at least I had a grade 1 cancer. So it is cancerous, but it's like super slow moving. My oncologist actually said it was like less than 3% in terms of movement, so like very, very slow. A lot of people have neuroendocrine tumors like their whole lives and they don't even know about it. That's how much of a non-issue most neuroendocrine tumors are. Frankly, even the one that I had, I probably had for years and just never knew. And then eventually it just blocked off my appendix, and so my appendix got irritated and kind of signaled like, hey, something's wrong here. But otherwise, like, I never would have even known that it was there. So yes, I had an oncology appointment to kind of discuss the next steps, and the oncologist does still need to meet with a tumor board. So essentially it's going to be him and the surgeon who did my appendectomy and various experts. They're pulling from multiple hospitals. They're all affiliated with each other, but still multiple hospitals. There's going to be an actual appendix cancer team there. Just kind of wild that there are appendix cancer teams in existence. Good for me, but it seems like a very specific specialty, especially with how uncommon appendix cancer is. But hey, you know, it's a good thing to have. But essentially there's two possible paths that I'll be going down. One, which is the most likely one, is that we won't be doing anything. That there will be enough signs that are like, yeah, it probably didn't spread, it's probably a non-issue, that it's just like, yeah, we don't have to do anything. The other possibility is that I will need to get part of my colon removed. So fingers crossed it'll be the former. I did ask if there were any other possible screenings, right? Like if I could go in for an MRI or a colonoscopy or something like that. And the oncologist was basically just like, no, no, something like this wouldn't show up on a test like that. Because basically if it does spread, it'll do it through the lymph nodes. And the only way to check if it's in the lymph nodes is to get a sample and biopsy it. And because the lymph nodes that it would have spread to would be in my colon, the only way to get to those would be to go through the colon. So basically SOL in terms of doing any other sort of diagnostic tests. This would be the only way to like know for sure. But if there are enough signs that it's like probably a non-issue, then we're just like not even gonna go through it. But whatever decision it is that they make, there's a lot of experts on that team. So I trust that they're making whatever the best decision is for me, whatever that decision may be. But yeah, as I said, most likely situation is that I'm just not gonna have to do anything. They really try not to rush people into surgeries like this unless they really think that it's necessary. And as of right now, most signs are pointing to it's not really an issue for me. As I said, it's like low grade, super slow moving. The edges looked clean, so like it doesn't look like they had to cut through the tumor in order to get the appendix out. It basically looks like the tumor is contained in the appendix. And the tumor itself was 1.5 centimeters. General rule of thumb is if it's less than 2 centimeters, it's probably not causing any issues. The one thing that they were concerned about is that it did spread into my mesoappendix, which I'm not a doctor, so I don't really know what that means. But basically, because it spread into my mesoappendix, that's a bit of a red flag of like, ooh, it might have spread further. But pretty much everything else is pointing to it not spreading. And even if it did, it's like moving so slowly that it's probably never gonna cause any issues. Regardless of what the decision is, in about 4 months' time, I'm going to be going in, getting some more blood work done, getting another CAT scan, and that's basically what I know right now. I'm not gonna upload this until I receive receive a call back from the oncologist and I know for sure what the situation is. So all that said, here's a jump cut to me in probably like a week once I have the rest of the information. It's a little over a week later. I just got off the phone with my oncologist. I do not need to get another surgery. He basically said that everybody who we talked to agreed the additional surgery just wouldn't be necessary for this. I think I mentioned in the first part of this that I'm going to be going in May to get some more blood work and another CAT scan done. And then after that, I'll just need to do like periodic monitoring. I'm not entirely sure how often that'll need to be, and I think part of that also depends on whether or not anything funky shows up in any of the scans that I'm doing in May. But otherwise, I think that's pretty much it for this situation. Yeah, I got very lucky. It was kind of funny because on the phone the oncologist actually said, like, I don't want to say that I'm glad you got appendicitis, but like, I'm kind of glad you got appendicitis, because it did mean that we caught this fairly early on and we were able to treat it with a very routine, relatively easy surgery instead of having to do something more extensive surgery or treatment wise. So I'll see you guys in about 4 months time when I go in for those scans. I'll probably make more videos in the interim, just like not appendix cancer related videos. So in terms of this saga, I'll see you guys in about 4 months time, and I'll just like talk about and walk you guys through the blood work CAT scan process. But in the meantime, I think this pretty much concludes the world's briefest battle with cancer. It was literally over before I even knew it.